Hey everybody, Dr. Leigh Miller here, your TMJ physical therapy specialist. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to release your masseter. There's many ways that you can do this, but today I'm going to give you one trick of the trade, and we're going to do it externally. But first, let's talk about what this masseter is. This masseter is a muscle that goes from your cheekbone all the way down to the bottom part of your mandible. It goes along the mandible all the way to the angle right here. So we're thinking cheekbone, boom, drop it down all the way to the angle of that mandible. Guess what? This muscle has two heads. The first, or the superficial head, if you will, is thicker, right? And it's a little tendinous. And then the deep head is a little bit more muscular in nature and it's a little bit smaller. But both can have an attitude when they get really tight. Just like any other muscle, we're supposed to give it a little TLC and stretch it, but most of the time all we do is use it to chew, to talk, to sing, to yawn, right? We don't really ever think about how we're supposed to take care of our jaw muscles. So let's talk about one way that we can do that. Give it a little bit of a rest break, okay? So you can do it two ways. I use two fingers because I like that tactile sensation, that feedback that I get from the pads of my fingers. You take two fingers just beneath that cheekbone. You don't want to be on that cheekbone because that's going to maybe bruise the cheekbone. We don't want to do that. So we're just going to be beneath that cheekbone. And I want you to drag your fingers, keep your mouth closed, and I want you to drag your fingers all the way down to the bottom of that mandible. You want to aim for the angle of the mandible, right? Right where that cheek, the bottom here of this mandible goes across and then all of a sudden, whoop, goes up towards the ear. That's the angle of the mandible, right? So we're gonna go from the cheekbone, drop it all the way down. I want you to give it firm, medium to firm pressure. Don't hurt yourself, don't bruise yourself, but do enough that you feel that feedback. You feel that tension. It's gonna be that hurt so good sensation, especially if your masseter is really, really tight. So what you're gonna do is keeping your teeth separated, but your lips closed. Why? Because resting position for your mouth is with your teeth slightly apart and your tongue on the roof of your mouth. We'll talk about that later, but today, all I want you to do is keep your teeth slightly apart and keep your lips together. You're going to press right? 10 to 15 times. A good amount of pressure. The second thing I want you to do here is we're now going to do it actively. So with mandibular depression. What does the masseter do? The masseter is a mandibular elevator and a protractor, right? So we're going to take it into the opposite direction and we're going to lengthen while stretching and pressing on that muscle. So you're going to press into just beneath that zygomatic arch or just beneath that cheekbone, okay? And as you glide down to the angle of the mandible, I want you to keep your mouth open. So we're gonna go and close and close and repeat. And we'll talk about why the jaw deviates one way or the other in another episode. But I just wanted to show you a very good external way to release that masseter. Perform each 10 to 15 times, 1 to 2 times a day as necessary. You should start to feel much better very soon. I'll talk to you guys soon.